As for Western Sydney, look at the fans there, singing in the rain. 9 bays have sold out of Western Sydney fans making the 1 hour journey from Sydney up the F3 to the Central Coast and Gosford. 2 changes. Matteo Polyak is back in, Dino Cressinger back in for Gibbs, Aaron Moy to the Wanderers. Can break the record for the most wins within 1 season in the Hyundai A-League in succession. They've got 7 at the moment, 8 is the record. Tony Popovic obviously got so many plaudits this season from everyone for everything that he's got. What about the way he's got his backline functioning when they get the ball?
Important stat to know is the Wanderers are the only team in the competition who have yet to concede in the first 15 minutes of a game. And when you look at them closely, there are so many other teams, as we mentioned earlier on, who like to play out from the back. The Wanderers are a little bit different. And we'll have a look at a couple of their pieces there. When they are in possession of the ball here, Michael Beecham, he's probably the biggest culprit, if I can use that word, who likes to then play that ball or a long pass. I'm not going to call it a long ball, it's a long pass. If you can see, a lot of his balls are actually delivered to one of his teammates, okay? And what you're doing now is you're turning the opposition around and you're trying to then put pressure from your own players onto them. And it relieves a lot of stress and a lot of pressures as well. When this starts to happen, you can understand as the game progresses and players become comfortable in their roles, they then start to draw each other out and more space is available in the midfield line. So it's one of those where you're taking no risks, really. And Tony's done that and he's told his 2 defenders to defend first and foremost. If the time is to play out. If you can't, let's turn them around. Let's hit a long pass, not a long ball.
Music to your ears, Bozza. Well, after what you said 7 days ago on shootout.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of old cliches and old adages in football, and one of them Rouge just touched on there is exactly right. When you are under a lot of pressure, long pass, okay, you actually saw it in the second half a little bit with Adelaide when they had a decent spell. Automatically, the defending team that you're going against will drop back. You ask any centre-back what it's like to turn around. Rouge used to play there and sprint back 30 metres 5 times in the space of about 3 minutes. It's not nice. Automatically, you drop back, then you give yourself time and space to play out.
Not Adam. I mean, we talk about Nikolai every week almost. Look, if I'm going to be a little bit biased, only because I like him as a footballer and I continue to talk about him. Take nothing away from Trent Haysbrough, who's had a fantastic season as well. I thought he was fantastic again on Wednesday night. But this guy really hasn't put a foot wrong this season. If he needs to clear his lines, he does that. If he needs to, I think he leads the league in interceptions as well and clearances, and he's always in the right place at the right time. We've spoken about how he's lost 5 or 6 kilos so far this year from the start of pre-season. He's been on the fringes of A-League at Newcastle and Sydney FC. No one's really been able to get the best out of him. Along comes Tony Popovic next Socceroo, a left-sided stopper as well. Lo and behold, he's picked himself up and he said, I want to be exactly and do exactly what you've done throughout your career. And he's doing really well this year. Quick
one, Roods. How do West Sydney, Boz has spoken about Central Coast breaking teams down. How do West Sydney go about breaking down Central Coast?
Well, they haven't been able to do it so far this year, Adam. Exactly. So if I knew the answer to that, mate, I'd be sitting next to him, beside him. But you look here, they've got their own game plan. They're going to try and, from what I understand, is stretch them and be patient. I think those are the 2 key words: is be able to switch the ball from side to side, so switch direction, and also be patient when they're in possession of the ball, looking for those openings.
I think it's going to have a massive part to play. I think obviously a draw will suit Central Coast Mariners better than it would Western Sydney Wanderers. There are still 4 games to go. Anything can happen. But from a psychological point of view, not only for the Premier's play, Adam, but I've got a feeling these 2 teams will come across each other during the final series. This is a massive game. And I'll go so far as to say, yes, if a team does win tonight, I will back them to go on to win the Premier's Plate.
Look at that. Western Sydney Wanderers fans have ended up with halfway seats on the Eastern Grandstand. That's a fair old effort. Well done the Central Coast Mariners for giving them those seats as well. And well done everyone for turning out.
Well done for turning out. Look at that weather as well. And plus with City Rail being pedantic without letting them travel, fantastic devotion to go up and support their team.
Roots, a tip and why?
I'm picking a draw. I can't separate these 2. Fantastic scene. Sit back, relax, enjoy a wonderful game of football.
Exactly the same draw. Cannot separate them. Adam?
Fair enough. I'll go the Central Coast Mariners due to their home record. They've been so good so far at home this season. We're about to find out who's going to be right, who's going to be wrong, who's going to be top, who's going to be second. It's the Bluetongue blockbuster coming your way. Central Coast Mariners, Western Sydney Wanderers. Huge crowd in there for us on the other side of this break. Robbie Slater and Simon Hill.